What's going on, everybody? Welcome into Fandom Empire Live. Super excited to be hosting my first show tonight. And we got a good one. We're going to talk some Halloween ends, House of the Dragon. And to wrap up the show, we'll dive into some wrestling talk. But first, before we get into that, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out. Shout out to everybody in the chat. David, Litton, Chris, Kenneth, Steve, appreciate all of y'all being here tonight. That's right. Give the channel a like and subscribe. Listen, before we jump into it, we have a great show, but before we dive into it, we have a really, really good multiple choice question that honestly I'm interested in because I liked both of these films. But which film did you like more? Halloween 2018 or Halloween Kills? That's the big question of the night. Make sure you answer down in the comments below. Halloween 2018 or Halloween Kills? I liked each of these films for what they brought to the table, a lot more than I thought that I was going to, but I'm interested in hearing from you and everybody in the chat. So make sure you answer our tonight's multiple choice question. Halloween 2018 or Halloween Kills? Which one did you enjoy the most? All right, it's time to introduce the panel, at least to start off the show. First, my man Sean. What's going on, Sean? How you doing tonight, dude? Good to have you on. Good to have you on, man.
I just joked around with Tommy in the private chat. Like, I think I just lost my job to Mike.
Oh, dude, that was a terrible opening. That was a terrible opening.
Nah, man.
Because I was gonna be like, I can't say broadcasting live from what do you say, Toronto, just outside of Toronto?
Just outside of Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
I can't say broadcasting live just right outside Richmond, Virginia, because like, am I broadcasting live from my house because I'm the host, or are we still broadcasting live from outside Toronto? It's a trick question. That's the thing. But good to have you on here, man. I don't think I've been on vacation the past week, so I haven't been on to publicly congratulate you and Jade on the baby, but congratulations. Beautiful little girl. I don't have any kids, but I can imagine what it's like to be a father, especially for you, a girl dad now.
Let me tell you, we're gonna get into some like Game of Thrones territory for a second, but not Game of Thrones. When you watch your and hopefully Jay doesn't kill me for sharing this information. When you watch your daughter get changed at 2 days old, and she's bleeding, you tend to severely panic and think of the worst, just to find out that poor little Bolin has a period, which I didn't think was possible, didn't even know was a thing, but is a thing for infants in their first 2 weeks, which, hey, guess what? Inexperienced girl dad here had no idea, basically gave myself a heart attack. So
I didn't know that. So I learned something new tonight. I'm sure a lot of people in the chat didn't know that. So
welcome to health class. Sex ed.
Sean is out here teaching people live on a Tuesday night. But Sean, you're not the only guest on right now, man. We're gonna bring in, I don't know what he is tonight. Like, who is he? Is it Tommy B or is it T Brad? What is he going by now? I need to know. Bring him up on the screen. I need to know. Tommy, is it Tommy B, Tommy, or T Brad? I gotta know. I need to know.
Oh God. T Brad 1650 is just my call.
That's fine.
My socials.
That's fine. We're going with T Brad. Make sure everybody says what's up, T Brad.
Oh,
please.
Fuck, okay. Hey, dude. I'm hanging in there. You know, it's a bit of an up and down time right now. You know, work's getting busy, school's getting busy again. I am shopping for a new car that I didn't want to do, so that's cool.
I heard about that.
Yeah, not fun stuff.
Especially in this market, man. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's a hell of a market, but we're getting there. Currently, I'm driving around a nice, relatively new Toyota RAV4, and I don't want to give it up.
Nice. That's the thing right there. Like, I took my car in to get a recall not too long ago, and of course, when you do that, they put you in like they gave me like a 2022 Toyota Highlander, and I'm like, man, I don't want to give this up. I enjoyed it for the day and a half I had it, and then when I got back in my car, I was like, well, this sucks.
Yeah, this thing sucks. Mine that is still mine, but is getting totaled out is a 2006 RAV4. So I just happened to land in one, and I'm enjoying it. I don't think I'll get another Toyota, but hey, one could dream, right? Yeah. It's all good though. We've been keeping busy on the fandom stuff. Lots coming in. D23 just happened, so good. A lot of stuff came in with that too. We don't have all night to talk about it, but maybe we could do a brief mention. We'll see.
That's not true. Solid. Please stop. Do not do that.
Shit.
I already muted myself. It took less than 10 minutes.
It's okay. It's okay. You get a pass because you're not hosting tonight, so you get all the passes in the world tonight when it comes to that. Look, girl dad and all. Sean decided he wanted to drink out of a pink cup tonight, and I love it.
I was wearing a pink shirt earlier. You missed it.
So before we jump into this Halloween ends talk, which we figured would be a good thing to jump into, obviously, because obviously there's a lot to talk about. It's that time where, yeah, almost trailer time. Where really, tomorrow is exactly a month away, so it's gonna fly by fast. It has flown by fast. But before we jump into that, Sean and Tommy, we opened up the show with a multiple choice question. And I want to know your guys' answers. Halloween 2018 or Halloween Kills? I don't want to know what film was better. I want to know which one you liked more. There's a difference. So I want to know which one you like more. I'm going to shoot it over to Tommy B. I'm sorry, T-Brad first. Which one are you choosing? Halloween 2018 or Halloween Kills?
I swear, y'all are trolling me.
I'm not. I love it. I do it. I'm doing it out of respect. I promise.
Oops. All right, it's just my socials, man. It don't make too big a deal. Anyway, Kills or 2018. Kills all the way for me. Yeah.
Any reason why it sticks out?
You know, the kills, right? Like the kills we ended up getting were, I like to think in some ways a bit of a game changer. You know, a lot of folks don't want to give the, newer films credit for being newer. I say that's, BS. Let's give them credit for being newer. You don't need to say it's your favorite film because it's brand spanking new or anything like that if you don't want to. But they look better. The technology is more advanced. They had more money thrown at them. They have years and years more of trial and error of filmmaking. For me, it goes with Kills.
Gotcha. Sean, what about you, man? Which one are you picking here?
I don't know if I have a good answer for which one is my preferred film. It probably changes quite a bit. I've seen Halloween 2018 more than I've seen Halloween Kills. Because it's been out longer. I don't know. I know that's a cop-out answer, but those are two movies that I flip-flop on a lot. I flip-flop a lot on Halloween 2 and Halloween The Curse of Michael Myers, which I'm sure is going to make everybody pissed off, but I do flip on those two films a lot too. I would say this, though. It's not the answer you're looking for, but I think Halloween 2018 is the better put-together movie, and Halloween Kills is the better event film.
I would agree with that 100%. I enjoy Kills better for what it is. I've talked about it plenty of times going into my movie theater experience and seeing Halloween 2018. I mean, that was the first film we were getting since the Rob Zombie film. So my expectations were absolutely through the roof, and I walked out a little disappointed. And that's on me. It was because of my expectations, and I've grown to really like 2018, and I flip-flop back and forth between 18 and Kills. So I totally understand that. But I'm glad you brought up Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, Halloween 4. I love Halloween 4 too, and I know Sean loves that answer as well. Appreciate you, Matt, for tuning in on that. But obviously we had some complications last week, Sean, where you couldn't make the Take One podcast, but I was really interested to dive into it because it had been a long time since I seen the producer's cut of Halloween 6. And I know you prefer that, but I must say, man, I enjoyed the theatrical cut a little bit more. I just do. Maybe storyline is a little better, but two things that stick out to me.
Hang on, before you mention them, I'm guessing the one is the beatdown.
No,
Tommy
actually,
beats Michael down, and then there's like the big horror scene right before that where Michael kills all the. It's almost like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2 recreated that scene with Doc Ock.
Actually, not really. I had kind of forgot what happened in the producer's cut, and I just kind of forgot what they cut out that I enjoyed in the theatrical cut. And one of it was that chase. Appreciate Terrence being here. That chase in like the whatever it was, I guess the basement in those narrow halls with the red lights. I was disappointed that was cut out in the producer's cut. Along with the I know it changes everything, but along with the massacre in the surgical room, I thought that I love those two scenes, and I was just kind of disappointed those were cut out of the producer's cut. So I was disappointed in that, but I love some of the other stuff that were in the producer's cut. I just wish those were kept in.
I mean, the big thing is Donald Pleasance. He's in way more of the producer's cut than the theatrical cut. So sign me up for that immediately.
True, but, especially in 6. I mean, he bounced back a lot to me from Halloween 5. I mean, he was just batshit crazy in 5. So for him to come back in 6 and be Dr. Loomis again was nice to see.
I think one of the things that stands out for me, and I don't want to offend anybody while using this term, but the theatrical cut, pardon me, really takes out a lot of the satanic shit with the Cult of Thorn. And I would say, though, considering how they ended Halloween 5 and where they pick up in Halloween 6, when you remove that stuff, I don't think, narratively speaking, that movie works as good. And that's why I like the producer's cut better. I'll be honest, I think both cuts are underrated. I don't think that film gets the credit it deserves because it was not successful at the box office. But again, this is just opinion. It's miles better than Halloween 5. And Mike's not going to like this. It's miles better than Halloween 2 as well. So
that last part's not true. I agree with you on the first part, but as I've said before, I've really grown to love Halloween 6. And Steve chimes in here, says I have to be drinking heavily to watch Halloween 6.
Currently doing that while speaking positively about it. I guess I needed to drink.
Me too. Sean's drinking out of his pink cup, and I just picked this up actually. The Goonies from Spirit Halloween. $2.
Probably not an appropriate time to mention that I don't like that movie.
gotta just insert another thing you hate, huh?
I'm very disappointed. All right, it's time to dive into some Halloween Ends talk. We thought it would be a great idea. Perfect timing too to dive into some Halloween talk. I wanted to sit down and talk with Sean and Tommy about Halloween Ends and ask them some questions. And one of the main reasons is because they were really the first two to cover Halloween period on this channel. Sean, I don't know if you want to touch on that first before we dive into the questions, but do you remember the first time you and Tommy kind of jumped on here and started talking Halloween or Halloween in general?
Yeah, actually, it was on Facebook, and Tommy had no idea what the fuck he was talking about. I put him in a position where it was not wasn't a very good position for me to put him in, to expect him to go on a live stream and talk about something that he doesn't know too well.
What the fuck you mean? You do that all the fucking time.
I never said I didn't. I'm just saying it's not a good thing.
I only half fucking know what I'm talking about tonight.
Well, I can see that being all the time, but I mean, to each his own.
Here we go. Here we go. So how did that how did that grow? Just I guess just the responses from it, and I guess moving over to YouTube was obviously pretty big.
We talked about YouTube for years, like literally years. We wanted a way out of the cesspool where we were, and we weren't ready. And some might argue we're still not. But we tried Facebook first, and we were still doing a lot of fandom stuff. We were actually doing quite a bit of Walking Dead stuff and Star Wars stuff for a bit. And then Halloween 2018 was getting ready to, it wasn't necessarily ready to come out, but the first trailer dropped and we just did an episode on it. And the numbers for the video on Facebook were considerably better than those of Star Wars and Walking Dead and some of the other things we covered. And sort of gave it a shot over on YouTube, and it worked. And I was lucky enough to go attend TIFF in 2018, and sort of the rest is history. We slowly started to bring people in one by one.
That's awesome, man. And it's crazy to see how much, we have grown, period. Or to see how much what you and Tommy have done with this channel and to where it is now is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I remember the first time I saw y'all on YouTube, and I was like, man, I got to be a part of that in any way possible. And I'm glad I am now. Fandom Empire, I mean, we are just continuing to grow, and we appreciate everybody that's tuning in on a weekly basis, that check out our pre-produced videos as well. Everything that has to do with fandom, we appreciate everybody, especially everybody tonight. It says Sean might have a better number, but right now 40 plus people watching the video. We need to get those likes up. Make sure you like the video. It helps. I promise.
It does. We have cookies. We can't share them, but we have cookies. Just remember that.
We do, and it's a great like, comment, and subscribe. I'm telling you, you have to subscribe to Fandom Empire. It's definitely worth it. But let's go ahead and dive into these questions. I am super excited to ask these questions. I'm just the narrator here. Like, I'm just gonna toss them up, and I'm waiting for Tommy and Sean to hit them out the park. Hopefully a lot better than the Toronto Blue Jays, but that's a different story. All right, let's jump into the first question, right? How I want to ask you this, Sean. I'm gonna come to you first. And yes, that was a stab at the Blue Jays. I'm sorry about that. Kind of, not really. How different has it been covering Halloween Ends, really, compared to 2018, but even just last year to Halloween Kills?
So I think the biggest thing is we started to get information during the writing process, and some of that has panned out. Some of it has not panned out. But for example, I believe the mine shaft is actually the sewer sequence. So there's things that have changed. It's not the same night. I mean. And now that we know more of the behind the scenes crap that's going on over there, and none of it's particularly good, especially when you have a producer come out and call out the parent company for their marketing and distribution choices. But it turns out that the creative differences run way deeper than that. And it feels like that kind of movie. I'm not making excuses. At the end of the day, we're not as accurate on Halloween Ends as Halloween Kills. Halloween Kills, I would say we were like 95%. Halloween Ends, we're probably about 75. And it just goes to show, until stuff starts to get filmed, I think you got to be wary of what you put out there. Lesson learned for us to an extent. But it's kind of sad in a way, man. Tommy and I were on here the other day, and I vented, and some people didn't like that in the comment section. Sorry, but
welcome.
We yeah.
I had the hiccups. Sorry.
Your mom's a hoe. And I mean that to you, Dylan Styles, if you're watching. Anyway, it's unfortunate, because Halloween is a form of escapism for us all. It's a franchise that was, regardless of how optimistic you want to be, was dead. It was dead. There were 9 years between movies, with a bunch of failed attempts at starting it back up. And it's kind of, honestly, lately deflating to, the reports that we keep getting. It's most of it is negative, not necessarily about the movie itself in terms of the product we're going to see, but just some of the shit that's going on behind the scenes. And all that stuff, it will come out eventually. And it's just unfortunate, because these parties will never work together again, barring some sort of massive financial score this October. This is it for them. So it's different because instead of creating content and knowing you're going to keep going, it's literally not just, we knew that Halloween was going to be done for a little bit, but it is the end of the year. There will not be another Halloween Blumhouse movie. That's not what's coming next.
Tommy, how do you feel like the differences have been throughout these really 3 movies that you've been able to be a part of on this channel, and just the coverage that you've been able to dive into with Sean? I mean, you've been here from the beginning, so I'm interested to see your take and aspect on this as well.
So I was fashionably late, of course, having came, start talking about 2018 long after it was released, leading up to Kills. Then we had Kills, and now we are here today. And I enjoyed 2018. I really enjoyed Kills, all the coverage, all the time we went into it, and of course my viewing experience. Although there were some technical issues in the theater, it was, one I'll remember for my whole life.
Yeah, you made the trip. Made the trip
Yes.
to the country that you always shit on for some reason. At least the people. At least the people.
Trust me, I shit on our country more. Yeah. Hey,
Rightfully so, I'm sure.
Yes, it is rightfully so. And then we got Halloween Ends, which is going to be the biggest piece of shit of all.
Wow.
Because based off of everything we know about this movie, this movie is going to fucking blow.
Tommy, you can go ahead and log off. That scratches really the rest of my questions, really. I mean, I know how you feel. We're good. I have to say, let me ask you this, okay? Why so negative on Ends? You don't have, I'm just curious.
We'll get a little more in depth, maybe. We'll see.
We will.
But as we remember, some people may remember better than me. But when we were first received the plot for this film, based off of, sources, viewings, so on and so forth, I started going around saying stuff like, they're going to take this trilogy and they're going to throw it into a volcano or some shit like that. And that's exactly what's going to happen. And
Michael's going to go down with his thumb up.
That's right.
He has to let the people know he's okay. Like a football player when he gets carted off the field. You got to let them know the people you're okay.
He'll be all right. He's always okay. I mean, they could have...
Yeah.
I mean, this movie is going to do to this trilogy what Resurrection. Yes. What Resurrection did to H2O. It's going to do that. And, I always advocate for H2O because...
Thank you, Tommy. I appreciate that so much.
I'm a big fan of the film. Not so much Resurrection, but H2O.
I think it would hurt Sean's feelings that I enjoy H2O a little bit more than Halloween 4, but I'm not trying to... Yeah. Wow, Tommy, Terrence says you were wrong. You were so wrong.
Yeah, Terrence can fuck off.
I've never said this before. Terrence is a fucking genius.
Sean, I want to come back to you and ask you this because you had kind of touched on it in your comments to the previous question, but there have been obviously a lot of rumors and things that we have heard that have been behind the scenes of whether that's really tension, drama, however you want to describe it. How do you feel like that? How do you feel about all that? I mean, because I know you know a lot, and I don't want to dive into too much detail as far as the question. I kind of just want to throw the question out there and kind of see if you want to hit a single, double, triple, or home run. Like I want to see how much you want to talk about. But we all know that there has been tension behind the release as far as it getting released on Peacock, and you had alluded to a lot deeper than that. So I'm going to take a step back and kind of let you talk about this.
Well, I mean, if you want the full, me going fucking bananas, go watch a video from last week. It's on the channel.
I did. Are we talking about Sunday?
I think it was Sunday, Tommy. Yeah. I did it.
That was a good video to tune into right before football too, man. Appreciate it. That was a good stream.
the best way I can put it is egos in Hollywood are a real thing. And there were certain events on Halloween H2O that are happening again. But maybe, hang on. There was a comment to begin this stream. I'll summarize it with this. If you're a wrestling fan, you're going to get it. Okay, so I can't find it, but it was, and I can't say who it was referencing, but basically, someone showed up on set and did the Hulk Hogan and said, "That's not going to work for me, brother," and it's caused a bunch of shit. It's unfortunate because we're dealing with the same thing while fucking talking about AEW too. And I think the best thing we can do as fans is just go see the movie and watch the wrestling product that's on screen and let them deal with the bullshit off screen. But I'll say this. When you make a Halloween movie, there's typically too many chefs in the kitchen because of the way the rights are distributed and who owns them. It's not like Maleka Cat is going out and making his own Halloween movie. And that creates problems. And for the first movie, it was honeymoon. The second movie, there was a little bit of issues. And this movie, you had one of the top producers on the film full on come out and throw Universal under the bus and make no bones about it. And like, you don't need, shitty little YouTube channels or podcasts to tell you that there's issues behind the scenes. He did it all by himself the second that he showed that message to everybody. And I don't know if he still has that up there. I'm not going to name the guy because I think he's a good dude and I get his frustration. But the problem is, here's the example I threw out on Sunday. Ewan McGregor was an executive producer on Obi-Wan Kenobi. So he could say something along the lines of, this isn't really working for me. Let's see if we can find some middle ground. And the director could say, okay, great, let's work with that. Or they might disagree and bring in a third party. The problem is when the talent convinces one of the sides to go with them and undermines what the actual approved project was, that becomes an issue. Again, all this should be taken with speculation and a grain of salt. Just look at the track record of the channel and the stuff that we've covered. And remember, it wasn't us that put out a message on Instagram calling out the studio. They're the ones that opened the floodgates there, not us. It's unfortunate because we should be focusing on the conclusion of the trilogy. And I don't even know if we're really getting that movie.
So would you say 98% of the people involved in the film that worked there day to day wanted this film strictly to go to theaters?
100%. Yeah,
I would agree with that as well. So obviously, go ahead.
If you know you're leaving Company X for Company Z in 2 weeks, or in this case, next year, are you then going to give Company X your full effort, or is your mind already focused on something else?
Already focused on something else. I mean, I've been there.
Me too.
It might not be the right thing to do, but it's not the easiest thing in the world to do either.
No,
you know what I mean?
They're human, but it is their jobs to
true
think at the end, and I would argue they have not done that. So
true. Tommy, how do you feel about the backlash that has gone through with this film behind the scenes? I mean, Sean alluded to it. It's pretty much out there in a sense. How do you feel about it?
It's very sad, honestly. It's not unheard of, but it's very sad because it's events like this, it's circumstances like this that are going to ultimately be at least partially responsible for the film being the abomination I predict it's going to be alongside the rest of the franchise. It'll still make money because it's got Michael Myers and the Halloween name all over it, but it's going to get shit on. It could easily be the new Rob Zombie Halloween 2.
That's a big statement. I know Sean kind of feels a little bit different about that. He's optimistic about the film as far as at least a standalone wise. But I just kind of read the comment below, and I want to touch on this because it was actually one of my questions. Do you think it was wise for them to not have this film take place on the same night? I know it's a lot of if, ands, or buts, but do you feel like that this would have worked out a lot better if it had happened on the same night? Or do you think that they made the correct choice is putting it 4 years in advance?
I feel like they were running out of nighttime, to make it be on the same night.
They had a few hours. That was about it. You are right on that. It was going to be a tight squeeze.
Yeah.
So your options were either A, go to November 1st, B, skip a year, or C, do what they did and skip a few years and make it more like present day, I guess.
So you think they made the right choice going with the 4-year jump?
Right, wrong.
Compared to the same night, I would assume. Whether you think it should have been 2 years, 1 year, skipping over that, just do you think they made the right decision of this film not being filmed on the same night as they originally intended for it to be?
So it's difficult for me to answer that question, and just to say briefly why, it's because the plot handles it in a certain way, which, who the fuck am I? But if I were a filmmaker, I might have done it a little bit differently. But all things considered, I think they made a good decision.
Sean, how do you feel about that?
Tommy's fucking nuts. No, Tommy's entitled to his opinion. Breathing Room sometimes is good. We're all watching a TV show right now that is giving literally every single episode, at least for now, Breathing Room.
Let's not. We're gonna save that. I'm depressed. I'm depressed. Sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, Breathing Room can be good sometimes, but the problem is, like, there was an entire script that existed for the fucking same night. They went in and fucking tore most of that shit up, and why? I don't necessarily know. I suspect we may find out. And I'm going to let everybody know now. Hang on. I'm going to put our Patreon graphic up for a second. I mean, not that I'm shamelessly plugging it. This is just to let you know we're going to touch on a couple of minor spoilers here. So, by the way, you can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/Fandom Empire. And Lampkin Lane will be this week, maybe even twice. So stay tuned for that one. So, all right, graphics up means we're talking. I'm going to dive into some spoilers. What would you have rather, Mike? Let me throw the question back at you before we get ready to wrap this up and bring the rest of the guys in. Do you want a movie that takes place on the same night, and as Tommy pointed out, there was not much time left, where at the end of it, we can see the sunrise, and maybe you're playing Mr. Sandman, a nod to Halloween 2. It would have been like, yeah, it's one long night. You get 3 fucking movies. But that song and that ending would have been earned. And instead, we're going to fast forward 4 years where Michael Myers gets benched for half the movie and Corey Cunningham becomes the main fucking character. And they just decide to say, fuck it. We want to push this narrative. So let's go and grab someone else. Let's make them the main character in the third act of the movie. And by the way, the guy who you really want to see is benched for half the movie, if not more. So, well,
you want me to tell you? No,
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna stop. You go.
I was just gonna say, if you're asking me what I would want if I was running this, I would want, if Kill stayed exactly the same, except for that, I honestly would cut out the end of where Judy Greer dies. I would have ended Kills right at the part where Michael takes out the Haddonfield mob. That's personally what I would do, and I would pick up Halloween Ends with Michael with that scene. If you want to kill off Judy Greer, fine. That's a hell of a way to kick off the first part of Halloween Ends. It'll make you take your breath away. Like, wow, they're doing this from the jump in Halloween Ends. Like, I would have liked that to happen. I would have liked that to happen, and I would have liked to have seen Allison take over that lead role, finding out that maybe her mother walks upstairs, or maybe Allison walks upstairs, finds her mother dead. Michael's not there, and Allison is now that main focus, or that main character in Halloween Ends, and she is now hunting Michael Myers. That's what I would have liked to have seen. I know that's wishful thinking, but I've always said, really from Kills, that Allison has earned a spot, at least to me, to be the main character in this film. In at least one of these films. So that's what I would have liked to have seen. So I know that's long-winded, but I would have liked to have seen it on the same night.
In my opinion, if you're looking at who the narrative of this movie follows, it goes 1, Corey, 2, Allison, 3, Laurie, 4, Haddonfield, 5, the hobo across the street, 6, Michael Myers. That kind of is the movie.
Hell of a list.
Let me tell you this, though. This is the really fucked up thing about it. If they begin this trilogy with this movie and alter the ending, it works. It's a more Mike Flanagan style film, but the problem with that is it doesn't fit with the two previous films. You know, I used to hate on The Last Jedi all the time, and the more and more I watch that film, the more and more I'm actually starting to appreciate it and appreciate Rian Johnson's vision. I'll never be in love with it, but when you look at what he did while following up the first act, and while not everything fits perfectly, at least there was an attempt there to follow what you already had. And then the third movie in that trilogy just completely disregards the second movie, basically. And I would say there's a lot of that present in this movie, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah, I agree. Now, I know, Sean, we had a list of 10 questions, but I honestly knew from the jump we weren't going to get through 10 questions because, I mean, the people in the comments, the people watching the video, they see the passion that we have for this, the passion that they have for this. That's why they're here listening to us
more
talk
questions
about
for
this
next
film.
week.
There we go. I will save them, but there is one small question, and it might not be small. It might turn into another 45-minute conversation. But real quick, I do want to ask you this: based on what you know, we have heard David Gordon Green in a recent interview say that he's flip-flopping every day back and forth between endings. We know that there are 2 different endings.
Is he flip-flopping, or is he being pressured to
that too?
change the ending? I think those are 2 different things.
Probably that would be my guess.
There's a lot of
based on what we know. Based on what we know, I would go that. That would be the safe route. What we originally had learned for the ending to be, and this is going to be the last topic before we bring in the other guys.
Now we talked the one, because there was 2 that we knew of that were written, and then we knew of the main one in one of the test screenings, and then another one.
So I'm talking about the main one that we had reviewed in the main test screening. Do you
Sunlight one?
Yeah.
Without getting too far into, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys feel like that is based on that? Do you feel like that is the best ending that would be best received throughout the Halloween fan base?
No. Dude, the response to this shit is going to be bad.
I tried to keep a straight face.
Even if it's good, like, it could be good and it could play off really well, and I think it might. There's certain people that are okay. So that other show that we're going to talk about, certain people wanted a specific character to be a certain way, and when that character decided to annihilate thousands of people with her dragon, a lot of people got bent out of shape. And I think there is a parallel to be drawn here. We'll see.
What about you, Tommy? How do you feel based off that test screening ending? How do you feel that would be received amongst the Halloween fan base, and really for yourself?
Man, An ending can only do so much if the matter itself is just garbage. And based off of what I know, it's going to be garbage. It's going to be garbage.
Tommy, man, you might as well just go on and stay at home, man.
I mean, I've already said based off of what we've heard, I may just fucking stream it on fucking Peacock. The Peacock.
The Peacock. Now, we had a lot more questions to dive into, but as you see, these questions can get very long-winded in a very good way. So we appreciate everybody tuning in for the Halloween Ends talk. A lot more to jump into. And as Sean said, probably 2 episodes on Patreon this week of Lampkin Lane.
Yeah.
So
sure.
there's gonna be a lot to dive into. So make sure you go over and subscribe to the Patreon.
I know this because one is already recorded, so one is pre-recorded and the other one will be live.
Sean, I'm not sure if you're looking at the comments. I know that you are in control of the StreamYards lab, but I noticed in the YouTube video we had a super chat. Jerry Ramey, I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Thank you. $20 super chat. We really appreciate that, man. Time jump wise, at the end of kills, Lori knows where Michael is. Cops and paramedics are all over. Kieran's phone can give the position where Michael is. Why wouldn't Lori / Allison just kill Michael immediately?
I'm pretty sure Allison's leg was snapped in about 5 pieces, so
it'd be hard to get back up those steps.
She's not doing shit. And Lori herself, if we remember, she was wounded herself. She
pretty
got
bad
hurt
shape too.
by someone shoving her in Halloween Kills. So I don't think that works for those 2 characters. I do think though that works for what's left of the police force and anybody else that could have gotten over there in that amount of time. I just think that they're probably, narratively speaking, they're probably just like, hey, there's a mob going around, searching for a guy and hurting people, that maybe there was just not the power there. It's not like, they're in Toronto or New York. It's Haddonfield, small town, right? So there are valid points though. And I think Mike's point about possibly changing the ending of Kills would have been better. And I mean, realistically, they did. We've seen one ending in theaters and then another ending on the Blu-ray.
Yeah. Appreciate that super chat, man. All right. It's time to bring in 2 decent looking fellas, I would say. All right. First off, we're going to go ahead and bring in my man, Kieran. Kieran, what's up, man? How you doing tonight?
Not too bad. Pretty good. I'm tired. I went to work after work today, and then I came here and did this. But it was a good day. It was a fun day.
Work after work sucks, man. Trust me.
Work after work's. It's like you always think like, whatever, it'll be fine, only whatever. But like, as soon as you get to that other job, you're just like, fuck, when does this pass? Like, god damn it, like. Is this ever going to end? Like, I always think it's going to be fine and whatever, I'll power through it. And, I need the money for this or that. So whatever. And yeah. And I pretty much am always like, fuck, when I actually get to that second job. So
adulting. It gets us all, man. It gets us all. All right. Bringing in our 5th guest, host of the Dark Match Drive. Jared, what's up, man? How you doing tonight?
Hello. I'm doing pretty good tonight. Just got a new laptop, so I'm messing around with that, and I've all sorts of technology. And the work after work thing really sucks when you're a university student because it doesn't stop.
Yeah, that's true. All right, now it's time to jump into something that I want to talk about.
Hang on, we got one more guest here too. I don't know if you've seen the private chat. He's probably just thinking that you're.
He showed up. Cool.
Being a Packers fan, which is fair. Anyway, hey, Johnny wasn't here, but Mike has done nothing but take shots at Toronto sports teams tonight. So I had to get something in there against someone.
Understandably so. Have you seen the Raptors?
Well, I can tell you this: the Blue Jays might be doing a little bit better than Aaron Rodgers is at throwing touchdowns, but whatever. Sorry, Johnny.
Actually, no, that's not entirely true. That's not entirely true because Aaron Rodgers threw a perfect touchdown But
I know.
Christian Watson neglected to try and catch the ball.
I'm just bitter because I have Aaron on one of my fantasies. I'm just bitter, damn it. Okay.
Well, that actually worked out for me because it got me a dub in one of my fantasy leagues and beat Kieran in the other one. So, I beat Kieran with a bunch of his own Buccaneers. So I'm happy.
Johnny, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing good,
got to watch with Jer while we beat his team. So it's like a big circle of.
It was not a good time.
I'm the only happy one in that situation because Cowboys lost and I won fantasy. Good Sunday, and it's week 1. It's the Packers. We always lose in week 1, and then we just run the table the rest of the year.
So yeah, good week in fantasy, man. How was your day though? Did you have a good day? Good Tuesday?
It's been good. Yeah, I've been watching some some of my more guilty pleasure movies. Watching some Broken Lizard movies today. So it's been fun. I've been enjoying the night.
Nice. Glad to see Matt Whitfield is up, not asleep. Tommy, what about you, man? You watching any football this weekend? I'm just fucking with you, dude.
No,
just messing with
you. No. I may watch 1 or 2 football games a year.
Dude, he's heartbroken over Dak. He's terribly heartbroken.
It happens.
Yeah, man. Sorry, Jerry. I'm not gonna come at you, man. I'm not gonna say it. It's tough. No, it's tough.
I completely understand.
His team's bad enough. He's just gonna leave him be.
Yeah, I'm not gonna come at you. But guys, we it's time to jump into House of the Dragon, man. I'm super excited to talk about this. Toronto Freddy, I don't know, dude. You never hit me up. You never talked to me outside.
Wrong fantasies,
really
Mike.
Effort. Oh, what did it say?
I don't think he's talking about those fantasies.
Or is he?
So as if we need to say it based off the way the show has gone so far.
I mean, hey, if he is.
Mature content, viewer discretion is advised.
Oh,
of course, Tommy's here.
Really? We really doing that?
Oh,
I mean, I feel like that's implied when you click on one of our shows.
Yeah, not safe for kids. The videos are never marked safe for kids.
And you said that plenty of times, so. All right, can we talk about?
So check out Fandom Empire on X
now?
videos.
Oh, dude, I've looked Fandom Empire up on X video. It's quite wild, quite wild. Do not do that. I would advise anybody not to do that. Do not do that.
Oh, well, I'm
just joking, Kieran. What? Come on, man. I'm just messing
I don't know
with
what
you, dude.
that is.
What?
What's X videos?
I would assume. I don't know.
Oh, Kieran.
Probably a fantasy football
He has his
site would be
VHS
my
tapes.
guess.
He's fine.
Jared will tell me later.
The X-Men streaming service.
All right,
But
so
they're
I'm assuming since we're having this conversation, everybody on the panel has seen episode 4 of House of the Dragon, correct?
Well, I'd hope
that
so.
episode
Otherwise,
got freaky.
I'd
I would
hope so.
too.
Otherwise, the episode
Tommy,
of
don't
the
do that.
Empire I recorded last night would be awkward.
Don't do that.
Yeah,
I know.
but you'll be able. By the way, this isn't going to be a long review. We're just going to briefly give our thoughts on the episode and where the show is so far. If you want the full review, it is scheduled to go up tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. on the channel. Big thanks for
Sweet.
Jack and Donnie putting that out.
Have something to listen to at work tomorrow. Kieran, what's up, man? What was your overall thoughts on what I would describe as a weird but solid episode 4? What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I thought it was terrible. I actually don't like the show at all. I didn't go to yesterday's House of the Dragon show thing because I knew I would only give a totally negative review once I finally got it in like 10 minutes before they recorded. So yeah, I don't care about any characters in this show. I don't think that any of them are really that interesting or relatable. So I feel like I'm the only person. Like I'm definitely in the minority here because like people I know like it. I'm not seeing bad reviews everywhere, so I get that I'm in the minority. But like, I just feel like if some big crazy thing happens, like if Rhaenyra kills Daemon or whatever, like some big thing happens, I'm gonna be like, because I don't care about any of the characters, and I really think that I feel like they've done a poor job making these characters interesting at all. They've done a great job they've done a great job, with costumes, and I don't have a problem with the CGI. Like there was an issue with the dragons that some people had, and apparently you can see the king's fingers that were chopped off at some point. But like, I don't have a problem with any of those things. I don't think the show is poorly made. I don't think, like, I'm not having a problem with any of those technical issues. But I just don't care about the characters. I don't feel like Rhaenyra is like a strong female character. I don't feel that way about her. I feel like Daemon is a very interesting character, but not someone I'm going to root for. He's the one who I want someone. I think he's the guy who I want someone to kill, right? Like, so he's good. Matt Smith's done a great job. The rest of the characters, I care zero about. I don't care at all if any of them die, and that's the whole cast of the show. So like,
you're literally breaking my heart. I
purposely avoided yesterday's show so I didn't have to give this super depressing review of the show, but I came on tonight and I got asked a question. So
well, I'll tell you
this.
It's
I think the show is
always. I
think the show's done a terrible job following up.
I wish you loved the show. That would be. I want you to love the show, but I appreciate you bringing a different view to it. Like, because I'm sure I would assume everybody else is really enjoying this show on the panel. So I appreciate you bringing, I guess, a different view. But obviously, of course, in a perfect world, I wish you loved the show. I'm sure you wish you loved the show.
Yeah, so. I agreed to be on a show where I would review the show weekly. I absolutely love Game of Thrones. I like, we say this on the Game of Thrones show all the time. Like, even the bad seasons or the bad episodes are Game of Thrones, and they're awesome. Like, I love it. I'm watching through it for the third time right now. Fantastic show. And yeah, I don't know. I'm going to keep watching this show in case, because I assume eventually they'll get to making the characters likable for me, or maybe bringing in other characters who I do like, but I just feel like they're very bland.
Well, I can tell you one character that I do not want to get replaced, but Sean, what about you, man? I know that you were able to check out episode 4. What did you think?
Bloody hell, there it is again. Fucking mute button.
At least you didn't go into 40 seconds of talking.
Oh, man. I understand why Kieran didn't go on live last night. Last night's like just specific House of the Dragon centered show. But I'd love when someone feels differently than what the majority of people feel. And they don't need to justify the way that they feel about something, because guess what? The way they feel is the way they feel about it. I'm not even like, I'm not upset that Kieran doesn't, like, I'm not mad at Kieran for having that opinion. I think he's completely wrong, but I'm more heartbroken because I know how excited he was for it, and to see how big of a hit it is. Like, even though the HBO numbers, like for the actual channel itself, went down in episode 3, the numbers for episode 3 were 6 million more than 1 and 2. So it has gone considerably up. People are loving it, and I'm just, if you don't love it, you have every right not to love it. I'm bummed that he feels that way. I gave Zach a blurb to read last night. I don't know if he did. Johnny would have to confirm that. Yeah, did. So basically, I'll reiterate that blurb. There's a lot of very sensitive subject material in this episode. I'm not talking about the incest, because if you watched Game of Thrones, you had to know this was fucking coming. How many times do Jaime and Cersei go, well, the Targaryens? It's always their excuse.
Yeah, it's fucking coming.
Yeah, they are.
Oh my God.
But, Game of Thrones lacked a female's vision, a woman's vision. And I believe the last, Johnny might be able to search this up for me if he has the time. I believe the last female director for Game of Thrones was like season 4. Season 4. That means you went seasons 5, 6, 7, and 8 without a female voice behind the camera. And let me tell you something. Even though it's not hidden for Kieran, this is something that hit for me during episode 4. Whenever Game of Thrones would do sex scenes outside of Jon and Daenerys, you might as well just fucking turn on Pornhub because there was almost no artistic style to it whatsoever. It was just there in your face. Oh, hey, there's some titties bouncing. Hey, there's a cock. It literally was like you turned on a Pornhub video. I don't know if that's where you're going with that X videos reference. I've never heard of that, but Pornhub. But last night or Sunday night's episode, even though you got that stuff, it was done masterfully behind the camera. There was an artistic touch to it. It wasn't just, hey, here it is. It was told from different perspectives. The cinematography was fantastic. It honestly felt like a little bit of an acid trip, to be honest. It was like you watch a movie like The Doors with Val Kilmer. There's moments during that movie where things it feels fucked. And that's how that episode feels. Like I had to go back and watch it a second time. But at the end of the day, it speaks about some very important real life issues that I think is interesting to bring up. And I thought that having a female director really helped this episode. It's a slow episode. It's a different episode. But I was very, very moved by it. It wasn't my favorite, but it was fantastic.
Yeah, I would reiterate everything that you said. I mean, I'm a big Rhaenyra fan, especially Millie Alcock. I mean, I'm a huge fan of hers. And Sean, stop laughing. It's not funny. He's laughing because he sent me a fucking meme on. I'm not even gonna get into it. Anyways, I agree with everything that Sean said. Johnny, how did you feel about episode 4 of House of the Dragon, man?
I mean, I'll be extremely brief because Zach and I went for an hour and 15 minutes talking about it on the episode of House of the Empire. But I loved it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. And I mean, I feel bad for Kieran. I really do.
Simple and sweet.
Me too, but
Cheers.
It has nothing to do with the Dragon show.
What did you think about the episode, Jeer?
I'll be even more brief. It was good, and I can't wait for next week.
You've watched 3 episodes in 36 hours?
Do you think I do schoolwork?
I'm just surprised because on Sunday you were very open about I've only watched the first episode.
I needed to catch up.
Fair enough.
I'll tell you what, though, it's still amazing. Even though I was late watching it Sunday, there's nothing like ending the week, at least going into that work day on Monday, but ending the week on a late night, Sunday night, and hearing that music hit. Like there's nothing like that. It still gives me goosebumps to this day. But Tommy B, man, how did you enjoy episode 4? Did you like it? Did you hate it? I'm sure you didn't go on X videos, but how do you feel?
You're sure about that, huh?
Well, you know what? I guess now that's debatable. Sorry.
You know, that episode was just terribly good. It did some good character development, some stuff that some characters got a good pivot, if you ask me. And I say that it didn't really paint anyone in a real bright light, now did it? I'm just looking at it, in hindsight. It's just like, wow, everything is just shit. But at the same time, is everything just shit, or are the characters just being portrayed as, fallible, as human? And I think that's kind of the case here. You see, things aren't, black and white. They're all shades of gray.
Any characters you're talking about particularly? Or just in general?
All the main characters, all the main cast.
So are you upset that they're like shades of, like, because we had this conversation?
No,
today. Like,
no, I am not.
Shades of gray characters. There's no one, super good character or super bad character. There's definitely, it's all kind of in the middle. And to Kieran's point, I know he didn't really touch on this, but like it does make it kind of hard to have a rooting interest when everyone keeps circling around the middle, and it's hard to pick out unless you know the source material who actually is decent and who's not. And there's a lot of stuff up in there. I'm sure people left episode 4 going, Otto Hightower was a conniving piece of shit for the first 3 episodes, tells the truth and gets fired. Or at least what he thought. So,
I mean, I obviously don't. I personally don't think he deserved to get fired. I mean, I don't. I would say everything that the king kind of accused him of, as far as wanting the throne and everything else, I don't think there was a lie that he told, but I definitely don't think that he deserved to be fired for that. And it's no secret. I mean, I've really grown to love Millie Alcock is Rhaenyra.
Mike, can I cut you off for 1 second? We just got something breaking, dude, before you do your stuff. This is a live look at Mike during House of the Dragon Sunday night as Rhaenyra and Daemon are doing their thing.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Go ahead, Mike.
I busted out fucking laughing when you.
That's pretty much my reaction.
I mean, it was my reaction too. I mean, I don't know. I mean, obviously, we've seen her be. We really haven't seen her be really vulnerable throughout the show, except for when she got upset when we found out that her father was obviously going to wed her best friend, or marry her best friend. I mean, we saw her get upset as far as that, but other than that, I've loved this character for being very strong-willed, knowing what she wants, standing up for what she wants. That's why I've grown to really like this character. And obviously we saw moments of vulnerability in episode 4 with her, which I'm not saying is a bad thing. It was just a different lens on her. And obviously I want to say, what is it, next week, Sean, or episode 6 is her last episode? I want to say episode 5. Last week is her next episode, at least as far as in the present day. I know we talked about maybe flashbacks, but
well, I think the flashback, I know they're rumored to possibly return in season 2 because obviously they're skipping so much time that there's definitely areas they can go back to, which probably goes for other characters as well, reappearing. But I think, I could be wrong on this one, I think 5 is Millie Alcock, and is it Olivia Cook that plays young Allison? Or is that old Allison? Those two are, that's their last final episode, full episode, but I think episode 6 still starts with them. I don't think episode 6 just picks up however many years later.
Yeah, I'm super depressed about that. I'm not gonna lie. So I hope that transition goes over really well. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I would reiterate everything that Sean said, and then kind of what I wrapped up there with old man Kieran. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry you didn't enjoy it, and you're not enjoying. I hope that changes. Is I guess a question for you though: is this something you're going to continue to watch, or is it gotten to the point where you're just kind of giving up on it for now?
Yeah, I still want to watch it. I still want to watch it. Honestly, the thing is, I was watching episode 4 and I watched it and I was like, I'm hoping for something, and then like it just doesn't come. I don't know if maybe I'm like just like, I don't know if I'm just like trying really hard to like it. I don't know. Geez, what the hell happened there? My lights are going haywire.
It looks good though. Looks good.
I guess. Wait, is it going when I talk? That's fucking awesome.
What are you doing?
I feel like God
That
right
is
now.
so cool.
That is amazing.
Anyways, so I didn't even know I could do that, but apparently I could.
Oh God, I'm not going to unsee it now.
Me neither.
I don't know if I'm just trying really hard to love it and, just not getting there, but I don't know. I feel like I just recently watched through Game of Thrones, and like I liked like right from the first episode, there were characters that I really picked up on and really liked, and obviously they didn't all last forever, but like it had some characters who you thought were good guys, and I feel like not only that, but just the idea that it's a very linear storyline. We're following only a couple people. They're all already involved and they all know each other. Like, I feel like that's like I wanted another Game of Thrones show to be more like, you know, a bunch of stories that you don't know when they're going to intertwine. And these stories are all they're all one story, really. It's all one book. It's not like a crazy, you know, bunch of stories and you don't know how they're going to come together. I don't know anything about the source material because I am reading the first book. So I didn't know this was going to happen. I didn't know what to expect. I just thought, even though we were going to get a lot of Targaryen characters, and of course they would already know each other, that we would see some side characters who aren't involved in the main angle. It's not all just one show.
Yeah, I understand.
And like I said, the characters, I'm just not really interested in any of them. Like, I almost kind of gravitated towards Sir Criston Cole, but like he's just kind of a bland character so far. I don't think there's really a lot of nuance to his character yet. So
yeah, there's
I don't know.
Two characters for me. It's obviously Rhaenyra, and I like Daemon a lot. And
I feel like Daemon's a great character.
And then I think now we may see a rise in Otto. Obviously, not being, you know, right there with the king. What is that going to do? What is that going to? I don't know, because I don't know any source material. So there's probably a lot of people out there more educated than me. But yeah, I mean, it's super intriguing for me. Before we wrap up on House of the Dragon, has anybody got anything else that they want to jump in and say or talk about?
Let me add this quickly, and you guys might disagree, but one of the reasons why I'm so into the show is the acting in season 1 of House of the Dragon is considerably better than the acting in season 1 of Game of Thrones. Now, not the established veterans, obviously. The established veterans in Game of Thrones, the character actors are amazing from start to finish. But I challenge you to sit here and tell me that Kit Harington or Emilia Clarke are anywhere close to the acting that has come out of Millie Alcock, Olivia Cook, Matt Smith. And I do think part of it is that so many of their characters are shades of gray, and it does make it hard to pick a side and have a rooting interest in it. That's coming. That absolutely is coming. You're going to have to pick a side more than likely. But I think the acting in the show is phenomenal. And I wasn't sure how Rhys Ifans would do. You might know him from Lizard and Spider-Man, Kicker and Replacements.
Rich Eisen?
I don't know who that is.
Oh.
The wrestler, I'm guessing.
No.
NFL Game Day host.
No fucking idea. I just think the acting has been amazing, and he has been incredible as Otto. Every time he's on screen, he didn't even need to say a word. That scene where he's standing outside of Viserys' door was like, wow. Like, you can tell he's just completely distraught in what he has to do. Not necessarily because he's going to go tell the king about his daughter, but because he knows that the response is going to be terrible no matter what. And the other thing I would add is, who's the guy that played King Robert? I feel like it's Mark something.
I still think Otto and Daemon are going to have their day. That's just that's coming back around.
Viserys, and I don't know Viserys' fate. I just think we can all see what's happening to him.
I was about to say, look at him.
But the acting performance by Paddy Considine has been, I think he's been really, really good. He's been able to show at times the caring father side and then the complete political dick. And he's being torn between both lives. And I think he's done a really good job. And if you go watch the movie Hot Fuzz and watch him in that, you'd probably go, oh, okay, how the fuck did you play that character and then come and play this one? Could not be more opposite. But I really
Mark Addy. It was Robert Baratheon.
Mark Addy. Thanks, man. But yeah, I actually think Viserys by Paddy Considine has been a better king to see on screen than Mark Addy was as Robert, simply because Robert didn't get to do a lot, and a lot of Robert's stuff got cut.
All Robert scenes were drunk. He was drinking every time we saw Robert Baratheon. He had a cup of wine in his hand, with the exception of his arrival in Winterfell.
He obviously didn't want to be king, really, though. Like, he wasn't meant to be a king. He was never going to be a good king.
Well, yeah, he didn't want to get caught drinking and riding, so...
Oh, he was a king. He wasn't doing the actual riding.
I just realized I have the power to mute Jer now.
Alrighty, what's next?
Okay, I guess anybody else got anything on House of the Dragon before we wrap up? All right.
There were dragons. They're pretty cool.
Dragons are cool. Dragons look good.
Yeah.
Singular dragon in this episode.
True.
Dragons are cool. Dragons are
all right.
Cool.
Before we
didn't say like anything about the actual episode. I don't think anyone said it. We all talked about the series. Yeah, well, whatever, Sean. You said shit.
Well, there's a 1 hour and 15-minute breakdown of the entire episode coming onto the channel tomorrow.
I'm super excited to hear y'all's thoughts on that. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Johnny.
Based on some of the comments, I think you're actually going to enjoy a lot of the conversation we have.
Awesome. Hang on, we got to save Richard from clickbait. We have to save Richard from clickbait. Buddy, we love you, man. We've always loved you. I'll always love you. I need to see you again. It's been too long. For love of the love of God, that is not happening. It's not. That's some terrible clickbait thing that people have put out there. The Henry Cavill thing, I could possibly see, but because he's in The Witcher and because he's got so much other stuff going on, that's not going to happen. And I can guarantee you Elizabeth Olsen is not popping up in House of the Dragon.
The rumors are out there though from real people. I mean, I saw from
I have heard the Elizabeth Olsen one.
Yeah, the Elizabeth Olsen one I've heard from some actual people. I doubt it. I don't think it's going to happen. But I mean, let's be honest. When you're in the writers' room at this stage, you're throwing around names for characters, and you always shoot high. Those are the names that tend to get out, and then you cast lower, and people are like, "Oh, it's not Elizabeth Olsen like we wanted, like we were promised," but you were never promised that.
Fun behind the scenes bit here before we get to the question and get people out of here is one of the reasons why this show might be not resonating for some people is Game of Thrones never had a writer's room. It was David and Dan and now and then George. That was it. House of the Dragon does have a writer's room, and it's led by George R. R. Martin and Ryan Condal. To a lesser extent, Miguel Sapochnik. He's more the technical guy. But I think that is one big change.
I think writer's room work from here or there. Like, I think as at least for a lot of shows, obviously this one's starting off different. But for example, Stranger Things, that started off with just 2 people. And as the seasons progressed and succeeded, now they have a writer's room, which has worked out for them greatly. But sometimes that doesn't work out. For me, I think it's working out for House of the Dragon. And then obviously just those 2 in Game of Thrones, it's worked out. It worked out tremendously. So for me, it's worked pretty good both ways.
No season of Game of Thrones had more than 3 episodes that David and Dan weren't part of. Season 2 had 4, excuse me. So season 2 had 4 episodes that they didn't write. Every other season had 3. That's it.
And even then was never a writer's room type thing. They were really against that, and say what you want about them. I think Game of Thrones was really successful, and one of the reasons was probably because they kept it very internal. Were you going to say something, Kieran, on the writer's room bit?
Yeah, I was going to say George R. R. Martin probably doesn't say shit in that writer's room, though, because he fucking can't get a fucking thought out. Piece of shit.
Just when it's convenient.
He's probably there like tending to his fucking garden, like he says, fucking.
So we started off the episode with a question, a multiple choice question, but now I want to jump to a question from obviously the people watching the channel, but obviously the people on the panel as well. What was that movie that first wowed you as a kid, that kind of took your breath away, that kind of had you fallen in love with film that you remember? And everybody's like has their eyes up to the ceiling because they're thinking. I guess, does anybody on the panel have had their movie ready to roll?
Well, I do because I came prepared.
Oh,
Well,
yeah, Johnny. Oh yeah, Johnny. Oh yeah.
That's a first.
Well, I mean, it's mostly because I wasn't on the first half of the show, so I had time to think about it then. But
What's your movie?
I was prepared by the time I got here.
The 1938 classic.
No, actually, it's the 1987 classic, A Princess Bride. The Princess Bride. Why did I say I don't know. But Princess Bride is the first movie that wowed me, and I watched it not because of the story. I watched it, again because I'm a wrestling fan. They brought a movie that starred a wrestler. This Andre the Giant movie. So I watched it and was just enraptured by the story. Because it spoke to the kid in me. And I loved it. I thought the story was amazing, and it's something that to this day, very few days go by where I don't make some Princess Bride quote. Whether it's I don't think that means what you think it means, or occasionally I cannot drink the wine in front of me. When you're backed into a corner choice-wise. So it just there's just so much of that movie that it still wows me. And here I am, 30 some odd years later watching it, and it still has that effect on me, and it takes me back to being a little kid in front of the big giant floor model television and watching it and just having fun.
I think that's the thing with me is when it comes to movies and even music, those are probably the two things that I hear a certain song or I see a certain movie and I think of a certain moment. So I definitely resonate with that as well. What about you, Kieran? What movie was the first movie for you that kind of, I guess, had you fall in love with film, or they kind of took you off your feet?
Well, as a young kid, from maybe between the ages of 5 and 8, I fell in love with a movie that was totally for that age demographic. It's about a cop who gets murdered and turned into a robot who murders drug dealers. And, I just thought it was fantastic. And of course, I'm talking about RoboCop. As a kid, RoboCop was my favorite movie.
I thought you were talking about Lethal Weapon. My bad.
Yeah, could have been. Wait.
I'm just messing with you. Totally.
Turned into a robot?
I know. I'm just fucking with you. I just threw something.
Is Riggs a robot?
Here's a Halloween poll from that movie. Cochran from Halloween 3 is in RoboCop. I forget who he plays. He's the old guy in the building, whoever that is.
Stick Jones?
Forever.
Yeah, he gets arrested for stealing Stonehenge.
Man, such a good movie. Such a good movie.
Yeah. So it was RoboCop. Honestly, I absolutely loved the movie as a kid, and I'm not lying. As a small first grader, I loved RoboCop, and constantly some reason I had no idea what was wrong with that movie. I never questioned the swearing. I never thought this is not a movie for me. Totally just watched it, and honestly, I was obsessed for a while with being RoboCop, moving around like RoboCop, and fucking shooting other little kids in the dick with my RoboCop gun.
Why the fuck were you shooting kids in the dick?
Dozens.
Have you seen RoboCop, Tommy? Answer that question right now.
Maybe years ago.
Get
when
the
it was.
Fuck out!
I mean, I'm waiting to.
What's yours, Tommy?
Such a good movie, Kieran. Good choice.
I'll take the easy way out. I first saw A New Hope when I was 4. It's the earliest movie I have any memory of seeing. And the thing of it that, wowed me isn't a lightsaber fight. It isn't this old guy fighting this dude in a suit or any shit like that. It's the atmosphere. It's this whole mystical, otherworldly space opera type thing that went on to influence, we could say, all of cinema in general. Became the favorite fandom for many people. So yeah, definitely that's it.
That's a
Bit
good
of an
choice,
easy
man.
way out.
It's a good choice though. Easy, but it's a good choice. It's a
I'd
good
say
choice.
obvious and easy.
We're gonna go
Ac-
ahead. We're gonna go ahead and outro Tommy before he passes out. T Brad, I appreciate you tuning in, man, and coming on the panel. Where can everybody follow you, man?
I mean, I'll just
Outside his house. That's where I do it.
I mean, I guess you go find me sleeping, Twitter, Instagram, so on and so forth at tbrad1650. Maybe looking up RoboCop. I think it's been many moons since I saw that movie. That was another one. That was another one probably back in the later days of G4 when it was on TV and they were just looking for something to put on. So, yeah. All right, folks, y'all have a lovely evening.
All right, T Brad, appreciate you coming on. That is T Brad, everybody, not B Rad from Malibu's Most Wanted. That is T Brad. All right, Mr. Dark Matt's Drive. What is your movie that first wowed you as a kid?
I kind of lucked into it, but Dawn of the Dead, 1978.
Good choice. Wow, wasn't expecting that one. Please explain.
Yeah. So I was sick for a couple days from school, and I had asked my mom to rent me a movie, and I had asked her to rent me Day of the Dead, and I didn't even know Dawn of the Dead had existed at that time. So she brought it home, and I remember being pissed off about it. So I was like, "Oh, you got the wrong movie! What the hell?" And then I watched it, and I was just kind of like sitting in bed, and I had my little TV stand in the corner, and I was just sucked into the entire story of the movie. And I don't know, just the characters, and I liked the fact that the extended version of the movie is like 2.5 hours because it goes further into certain plot points. But I just remember thinking the idea of, hey, they actually somehow made the mall this safe place. And I was just fascinated by that. And then, it just, I don't know, like, and ever since then, it's been one of my favorite movies of all time. So, and now, like, whenever I go to the mall, I'll like there's this passage that goes underneath almost the entire mall where I live, and that I didn't know about it until one day I was applying for a college there, and I ended up going underneath in the tunnel, and I thought that was cool as shit because that's one of the major plot points in how they get into the mall. They go through the boiler room and all that stuff, and so like 9-year-old me in my head was like, this is so cool. So now I would know where to go if there's a zombie apocalypse. So, just stuff like that. So it was a really cool experience, and it had a lasting effect on me.
Where do you live?
I live in Oshawa, Ontario.
Okay, just asking. I was just curious because
you
can. I was just curious because you can still visit that mall that film was.
Yes, Monroeville
shot
Mall.
In. Yeah, Monroeville Mall,
somewhere in Pennsylvania, I believe. Yes, I want to go. Apparently I'm not sure if they still do tours. I know they used to do tours.
They did like a museum type tourist type thing. I don't know if it still exists. It's been a while since I looked into it, but good choice, man. That's a unexpected, but a really good choice. Sean, Mr. Fandom Empire now, or Mr. Fandom Empire period. What movie was it for you, man?
It was not Star Wars because Sean was petrified of Darth Vader as a kid.
Thank God.
First couple times I seen it, my mom actually got mad at my dad because I was just fucking scared shitless of Darth Vader, and I was having nightmares of Darth Vader. I was like 4 probably, and I remember my mom being really mad at my dad. There's 2 movies that come to mind. One's an obvious one, Jurassic Park. Dinosaurs coming to life on screen. We just showed Jensen that movie too, and he dug it. It was a little slow for him, but the dinosaur stuff he all loved. And for me, that was just such a oh my God, wow. But then the other one that I'm probably going to get super criticized over was the Flintstones, because it was the first time that I'd seen a cartoon come to life at live action. I was like 6 when it came out, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it was the first time a cartoon went to live action. I'm simply saying it was the first time I had experienced a cartoon come into life on screen, and I was completely fucking mind blown, and also didn't understand why Barney was tall.
Rick Moranis thanks you for that comment.
I was gonna say, Rick Moranis played Barney. He's not tall.
No, but
he
like,
wasn't.
when
He
you
wasn't half the size of a human, though. Like
yeah,
he should be Tyrion sized.
basically, yeah, that's what I
That movie is low key, like pretty enjoyable, though. I watched it not too long ago.
It's been
still,
a while.
It's not like I don't think anyone could be like, "Oh yeah, fantastic film," but like, yeah, it's fun.
Any of you guys old enough to remember the merchandise run for that movie and all the fast food fucking cups, and it was huge. Like there was so much merch for that movie.
I think I'm the only person on this panel younger than you, and I remember it, so I'd hope they do.
Yeah,
Damn,
but
dude,
we're
how old do you
old,
think I
so
am?
we don't remember stuff.
How old do you think I am?
Well, I assume our age.
How old
So
are you, Johnny?
34?
34?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Mike, you're
20.
like-
I'm 29.
You're 28, right?
29.
Oh,
okay.
Well, you look old for your
So-
young age.
Well, god damn it. Thank you, man.
He still has to show
found
ID to
I
be
mean it as a
involved like the
compliment.
rest of us.
Well, I found 2 gray hair in my beard today, and you're not helping, my man.
ew.
You're
Dude.
not helping.
Mike
Two?
is quite obviously the best looking guy on this panel. Am I wrong? Like,
What does that have to do
That
with
have
age?
to do with anything.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Tommy seemed to have a thing for Kieran earlier, so he might think Kieran. So
yeah,
I
but
mean-
Tommy's got a
George
Tommy's
Clooney
got
has
a
been
weird
voted
thing for everything.
sexiest man alive in his 50s. Age
Kieran,
don't
you have
matter
the long,
anymore.
you have the long hair, my man. So 2 movies stick out for me. One, I have to go with the one that scared me the most as a kid, and it's the first horror movie I ever saw, and that was Tim Curry's It. You want to talk about being scared as a kid? That movie wowed me for all the wrong reasons, but a movie that I revisited. I just remember, and I enjoy the new It, at least the first one, the remake. I enjoyed that one a lot, but it's still something about the simplicity of Tim Curry's clown and his character that really just freaked me out as a kid. So that's kind of an easy choice because that was the first horror movie that I saw as a kid, and I remember that pretty well. But as far as overall movie for me, it's Toy Story. I absolutely love that film to this day. And I mean, think about it, as a kid seeing it for first time seeing that movie, you're just absolutely in love. And it again, it's still a movie that I love and enjoy and holds up to this day. So I'm not too big on 4 or anything like that, but not that it was super terrible, but nothing competes with those first 2, in my opinion. They were absolutely phenomenal films, and so many good callbacks. And of course, I didn't know it as a child, but having the shining carpet in Toy Story, discovering that as the older I've gotten, I thought that was pretty cool. So I would have to go, if I had to pick one, it would be Toy Story for sure.
that's like an ultimate Easter egg. What a sly move by them to sneak that in.
I know.
Kieran bringing up RoboCop though made me, because we haven't done too many lists as of late. Like a fun list would be like the
drug
top,
dealer movies.
the top 10 worst remakes or reboots, and let me tell you that RoboCop one. Oh wow!
I thought we
It
did that.
still ain't no Nightmare on Elm
okay.
Street.
I thought we
it was
did
okay.
it. I thought we did a stream on that because I picked Titanic too. I
I
thought
think we did worst sequels in one.
Oh,
of
okay,
Yeah.
okay, gotcha. Okay,
Remake sequels.
And I still
So-
have.
Well, I think we just did straight
The
sequels.
lines
not
are
remakes.
always blurred between those now, anyways, because they do the like soft reboot
yeah,
like type of shit all the time. You know.
that's true. So hour and a half, great show, but I am going to tap out as the host. And y'all are gonna jump into some good wrestling talk. So I hope I did at least a 4 out of the 10 scale as a host compared to Sean. I appreciate everybody tuning in. having me on as the host. So yeah, as Sean announced, me and Kieran as hosts going forward, we're here to fuck shit up like Step Brothers, man. That's the way I look at it. We're here to fuck shit up. That's the way it's going to be, in a good way. In a good way.
Plug your shit, dude.
Come on, man. You don't have to do that.
You're the host. Use the floor.
Make sure you subscribe to my podcast, the Take One podcast. We're doing the Road to Halloween Ends. Currently in dropping Thursday is Kieran's favorite movie, Halloween H2O. So make sure you tune in for that. It's going to be a real good one. You can follow it on all major podcast platforms, and catch me here on the Overlook Drive, the Overlook Drive-In. I believe we have what was the I Know What You Did Last Summer just came out last week or a few days ago. Time is running like crazy, so I'm mixed up with my days, but we actually have I Know What You Did Last Summer coming out next.
No,
I'm sorry, Hush.
It's already out. Hush comes out.
Yes.
It should have been Monday, but things are just crazy. It'll be out this week. So. And then we got to get together to record Jaws, which I'm about to see.
Yeah, let me just say, seeing Jaws in IMAX was such a great experience. And there was a lot more people there than I thought it would be. I went on a Thursday night, and there were it doesn't sound like a lot, but there was 25 people in there, and that's a good amount for obviously a movie that has already come out in the past. But to experience that and to hear that score in IMAX was phenomenal. And we'll dive in deep in that on the Overlook Drive-In. So,
all right, man. Thank
you got a race car show too.
Come on.
No, we don't. No, we don't. Oh, he does. Sorry.
Wait, he reviews the Cars movies?
I thought you do, Sean. You don't?
Well, it's not a part of it.
So Mike also has a podcast about NASCAR called Four Wide Podcast. You can get it on Spotify. I know because I did.
Thank you, Kieran. I appreciate that. Yes, a NASCAR podcast, the Four Wide Podcast. Make sure you, if you enjoy NASCAR, come. It's different. I before doing my movie podcast, I used to do radio for Fox Sports, and obviously we'll talk about all the major sports, football, and NASCAR was just never a part of that. So being able to talk NASCAR, a sport that I enjoy with my brother-in-law, is phenomenal, and I enjoy that a lot. So appreciate that, Kieran. Thank you, man.
Wait, is that who Cody is? I had no fucking idea.
Yeah, he's my brother-in-law.
Oh man, all right. Well, that explains it.
It's okay. He thought you were my coworker until we went to a birthday, a family. My stepmother's birthday party, and I was like, "Yeah, Sean lives in Toronto." He's like, "No shit." I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "I thought you worked with him in Richmond." I was like, "Yeah, no."
A long commute.
Yeah, pretty long commute. So appreciate everybody having me on, man, and y'all have a good rest of the show.
Let's go, Kevin Harvick.
Better win. All right, bye.
He's gonna have to.
I'm really proud that Jared said someone who still races,
barely.
Well, fellas,
I would have been surprised if I wouldn't even have been surprised if he was like, "Go Dale Earnhardt."
I was expecting a Tom Petty joke from Jared just because it seems on brand.
Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys.
So we're not gonna talk wrestling today. There's still a bunch of drama going on with that shit. So after, I think Jared's gonna do something later this week or early next week. I know we briefly talked about it. So look out for another episode of the Dark Match Drive. I don't know. I imagine there'll be some culmination of the three of these guys talking wrestling. But today we're going to have some fun. We're going to go ahead and demonetize the shit out of this stream. Obviously, the super chats still count, but we won't get ad revenue for it because we're going to go play a bunch of shit that we're not supposed to play, but we can't play it for very long and the stream will get taken down. So I got to sort of walk a tightrope here. What we're going to do is name that wrestling theme. These three fellas are gonna, let me count how many there is, and I do not have them queued up, but I do have a list of them because it was
there's
just
three of us. One,
the number of songs.
Oh,
yeah.
Gotcha. There's 8 songs, so there's 8 questions, and because YouTube has pop-ups, I'm just doing them one at a time. So we'll start here. The way this will work is the guys have 15 seconds to answer. That time doesn't begin until after I've played part of the song. The part of the song will be the beginning of the song, and you guys will only get 5 or 6 seconds of the song because we don't want the stream to get taken down. I'm going to ask the audience to actually, do you guys have the chat up, or can you just, I trust your guys' word that you're not going to look at the chat.
I mean, I'm going to be honest and say I don't think I'm going to need to look at the chat.
I've tried with some of these. They're not massive polls, but I've tried to throw in a little bit of variety. You know, it's not CM Punk's 1 through 4 theme.
If I somehow beat either of these two, it'll be a miracle.
What is a miracle?
On ice, margarine. Oh,
You said miracle. I don't know what a miracle is. I'm familiar with
miracle.
You put in your eye.
Is that like a sea
I'm gonna
creature?
beat you just for that. You.
It
also,
sounds like a sea creature. I didn't know if it was a thing.
Someone in the chat earlier, sorry that we didn't get to it, had asked or mentioned that they really wanted to see them do something with Aegon the Conqueror. Just so you're aware, if you haven't heard our previous shows, that's the plan. They're only doing like the Matt Smith characters for, if it's not great, 3 seasons. At the most 5, it probably lands in 4 seasons. And then they're going back, and that's the next story they tell. It'll still be House of the Dragon with Aegon the Conqueror, and I believe they're trying to do is it the Blackfire Rebellion? No, the tragedy.
One of the rebellions.
Is this the one that leads to the tragedy at Summerhall? The big fire. I know they want to do that one.
I think that was the Blackfire Rebellion.
And then I think we're getting Robert's Rebellion, but told from the Targaryen perspective. So they have a big plan, but they got to be successful to get there. So that's what's to come on that front. Anyways, I will not replay the clip unless you guys legitimately cannot hear the music. So hopefully you can. And good luck. Let me can the music that's in the background. All right, here we go. Song number 1. As soon as this 15-second ad fucks off. This silence is brought to you by, I don't know what this is.
YouTube and their ad program.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Ten seconds.
I'm done. The whole name.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I really tried with these because this is not in my wheelhouse at all. So let's go to Jer first. He looks a little puzzled here.
I just got it now. Son of a bitch.
Okay. So Jared's got nothing. Kieran?
I know who it is.
I said the Smoking Guns, but I don't think it's right.
No,
we missed the gunshots.
I think I know what it is now.
Who wants to say it? Because I've got it written down.
Is it Ken Shamrock?
No, not even remotely
No,
close.
see, I don't know then.
You're off by 7 years.
Yes.
Johnny
That
Wood.
is wait, hold on.
He didn't get it right.
No, it is not.
Let me kill the screen so that you can actually see what I'm writing here.
Yeah, that'd be good. Oh, I see the light. That's correct. Texas tornado. What? Sorry, Kerry Von Erich.
Kerry Von Erich.
Jesus Christ.
Man, yeah, I tried to pull deep on that one. That's deep pull.
I mean, you did. It's a good cut.
Yeah, he wrestled really well on
1990,
Shotgun
yeah.
Saturday night.
Oh god, if he pulls like a random television show theme, I'm fucked.
Hang on, I need to update your score. So Johnny's the only one that got that, right?
Correct.
And okay, this is number 2. This guy has multiple themes. I'm just pulling one out here. No idea which promotion it's from.
That's helpful.
Oh, did I get everybody on that one? Oh, I'm hoping. I didn't think that would happen.
I know it, and I can see the dance, but I can't see the face.
You're on the right track. That's all I'm going to say. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. Johnny, you got nothing?
I got nothing for that one.
Kieran, what do you got?
I put Val Venus.
Oh no!
Why not?
No, it wasn't Val. Sorry, Jared.
I'm not very confident in this, but I went with Alex Wright.
No,
I don't know who that is.
No, that is not That's Wonder Kid. That's it's WWF circa like 2003.
1999, so you're not far off.
Oh God, that's the Blue Meanie.
It is. It's the Blue Meanie.
I could see the dance, but I couldn't see the meanie.
All right.
I wouldn't have gotten that one.
I was in my head. I was doing the Alex Wright dance. I knew that wasn't it, but the Blue Meanie dance isn't far off from the Alex Wright dance.
Oh man. Oh, it really.
Man, if you're pulling out these ones, I don't think you're going to have to worry about copyright.
Shit. Another couple seconds, I would have got that one.
How many of these? When are we done?
We're almost halfway.
6 more. All right, here we go. Number 3. That is not number 3. That's an ad by StreamYard.
I was going to say, what the hell is that?
All righty. This one's live, so it's probably not going to sound great. Oh man, they might. Hang on, let me try to find a different one. Because they might just be like, and introducing.
That wouldn't be helpful. That might help Kieran get a point at this rate.
Jared, does Jared have a point?
No.
Well, there you go.
But I think of the two of you, Jared's more likely to get one than you are.
It's 100% true. You guys have both seen 10 times the amount of wrestling I have, and have probably have better memories.
All right, let's give this one a try. Hopefully it works. That was very loud. Sorry. I'm going to give a replay on that one just because of how terribly loud it was. I don't know if you can make anything out. I sure as hell couldn't. Ten seconds. That's not the theme I was hoping it would play, but it is one of those themes. 3, 2, 1. Kieran, who do you have?
What was that Kiss reject guy's name? Was it the Demon?
Yes, it was the Demon.
Kiss Demon.
There you go. That's who
Kiss wishes they wrote something as heavy as that.
Nothing? Anybody? Nothing?
I went with Crash Holly and Hardcore Holly.
No.
It is Jim the Anvil Neidhart. I will link you guys.
Okay.
Is that his WCW theme?
It claims it's WWF, but maybe it's WWF because they purchased WCW. I don't know. I just linked you to the link.
I mean, I can honestly say I don't think I've ever heard Jim come to the ring that wasn't to either
I
the
thought it
Hart
was
Foundation theme or the
the theme he had, which was his solo theme in '97. Whenever he'd come
That's
up
what I'm thinking. Yeah,
that's what I thought was going to play.
Yeah.
Not, but
I don't remember.
So the score's still 1-0. All right, Kieran might get this one. Actually, I do think Kieran's going to get this one. All right, here we go. I'm going to play a different one because this guy has 2 themes, but it's the same guy's theme. So if you get it, you get it. I'm sure he has more than 2 themes, but yeah.
So I was right off the first one, but the second one is painfully obvious.
Again, I'm trying to pull here.
It's a good pull. I don't remember that version, or the first version.
All right, 5 seconds, guys.
I don't have it right.
What do you got, Kieran?
After that first one, I put Sean Stasiak.
No.
Because I heard some
I haven't
weird.
heard in a long time.
I heard some weird noise that could be like a spaceship or something.
Why does Sean Stasiak make you think of spaceships?
Meat.
Because he's like he seems like a person who got lobotomized in a
I'm
alien
just shocked we spent
abduction.
30 seconds talking about Sean Stasiak ever at all. At any point.
I just keep putting like I don't know any of these, but then I put whoever it reminds me of right away.
Jared, what do you got?
I have Test.
No.
No, you're not even in the right company, dude.
Wow.
I was close.
Johnny.
Oh, wait, hold on. That's the wrong side of the paper. There it is.
Yes, that's correct. Glacier.
Of course, Johnny would get a
thought
shitty
that
blood
knockoff
off
Mortal
cold
Kombat.
It was the knockoff Mortal Kombat that I'm like, is this a Glacier version? I don't know. And then you played the second. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's Glacier.
That second song sounded like GoldenEye. Sounded like music from GoldenEye.
Speaking of GoldenEye, really quickly here, Johnny, it finally happened. Like 6 years later.
Yeah, it did. And only the Nintendo Switch gets online functionality.
Seriously, Xbox doesn't get them?
None.
Really?
Yep.
You're supposed to play with your friends at your house, anyways.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be.
I got a Switch though, so I'll play it on Switch then. Doesn't bother me.
I mean, I think I'm gonna have to upgrade the online plan to get that. I guess.
I don't know. Mine renews each year. It's way cheaper than Xbox. I don't know. All right, here's the next one. It's 2-0 right now. Kieran and Jared are getting shut out.
Let's keep it that way.
I'll give a hint on this one.
No, don't.
No hint? Okay.
No.
I'll tell you what the hint was going to be afterwards.
You have prepared for this.
No, I have not.
The hint is advertisement.
Oh, man.
Was there a wrestler who was a walking billboard?
Brock Lesnar?
I mean, he does wear Jimmy John's sponsors, so I guess that checks out.
The World Wrestling Federation.
Oops.
Generic force.
Oh, my God. What the hell?
1994 intro.
1990, yeah.
Come on. I think I even got the spelling right.
5 seconds left. All right, time's up. Jared, what do you got? I'm sure you're about to break the shutout, man.
Duke the Dumpster Drosy.
That is correct. It looks like you all got it. So we go to 3.
That was pretty obvious. The truck backing up beep kind of gives it away.
That gives us.
It's actually the Blacktop Bully, Jer.
Damn it.
Even Justin in chat got that one.
Justin's proven to be pretty knowledgeable. I mean, he likes CM Punk, so that doesn't. But he's knowledgeable.
All right, here we go. Hopefully, this is the right one.
Kieran, if you get this wrong.
I was dying when he had that as his answer earlier. I'm like, that's literally.
If you get this one wrong, you can just point to your first answer because you've already written it down once.
Oh, man. I won't lie. When I picked this song, I forgot about the guns at the beginning of the song.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, the funny part is, without the guns, I totally wouldn't have got it.
oh, man.
So I need to miss the last two, and they both get them right for there to be a tie. If I get any one question right now, it's over. I win.
We'll play it out anyway.
I'm not saying
Keep going.
Yep.
Yeah. Here we go. Oh, we lost Johnny for a second, but he's
I
back.
demand. We did not lose Johnny. Kieran kicked me out, and now he's wrecked my screen. I can't see shit.
Did you hear it?
I can see you, but yes, I can. I did hear it. I wrote it down already.
Okay.
I thought about showing it to the screen when I was in the little version just to like taunt them.
All right, time's up. Kieran, what do you have?
Crush.
Oh wow, you got that one. Yep. Jer.
Little Beaver.
What?
So,
Someone
Kieran
wanna
may
explain
finish
that one?
second. How did you not get that one?
Haven't you ever played WrestleMania, like that game where it has all the previews of the songs? I used to listen to that shit all the time.
I had Raw or WWF Raw for Sega, so I don't know if he was on that one.
Oh, Johnny's actually gone. It says device is not connected now.
Yeah, it does say that. We'll wait for Johnny to get back in.
But do we really need to? I think he won already.
Oh God. Sorry.
Is that our new theme music?
Just fucking launched a Crushes theme. I didn't know what one to pick for him too, because they had the heel theme there too. So,
Which one? Are we talking Convict Crush or Evil Foreigner Crush?
No, we need Chronic.
No, that was later. That one
Well,
would
you
be
can't
pretty
play that one because it
obvious.
literally starts out going like
Chronic.
So I thought this one was gonna like decide the game at some point, but since it's already decided, here's the last one anyway.
Kieran and Jer are still fighting for last place, second place.
That's all I can give for that one, or else it's gonna take us down probably if they play too much longer. The hell are you holding? Oh, it's a clipboard.
What the heck does it look like?
It looked like something else for a second. Did everybody hear that? I know that was kind of a low. All right. Kieran, what do you have?
Okay. I didn't think it would be Kane or The Undertaker, so I put Mordecai.
Ish. I mean, you right vein, I guess. Super.
That one doesn't think you're my dad.
Jared, what did you have?
Mantar.
Johnny, I take
Is
it
it-
this one you seem confident.
Is it the
Kushi?
Hakushi, yes, it is.
Oh man,
It is.
I love
Surprised
Hakushi. He
Kieran
was
didn't
fucking
do it.
awesome.
Well, that was fun, guys. I didn't get to participate in it, and I'm confident in saying if you would have played all those themes for me, I would have gotten maybe one of them. So,
Yeah, the one with the guns at the start.
No, he would have got Duke Josie because he loves him so much.
that
Yeah.
too. You know what? He looks like fucking Wardlow. I'm
That's
not. Go
amazing.
look at a picture. Obviously, he's not tanked like Wardlow, but go look at a picture on YouTube. It has his Jim Johnson entrance video. It's got like
You
a
just
human-
insulted Wardlow, and he's not even listening to this.
Well, I wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah, no, he's coming for you now. He doesn't even know it. He just felt a rumbling in the force, like someone just insulted me badly.
It's your lucky day, Johnny. I'm treating you to a symphony. It's on the house.
You know what I want to know? Does Justin Smith, do you just hang out for the entire show so you can talk about wrestling at the end? Or does he always like, or do you just keep clicking off? Like, do you like Halloween and the rest of the stuff? Because he's like just a part of the show at the end of the show every time.
I feel
It's
like
great.
I've seen him and a few others on the DMD page too. I think they're over there.
Well, there's 32 people watching right now, so that's good. But like for wrestling, that's good. I mean, for Halloween, we destroy those numbers, obviously. But I just think it's funny that like we'll have a 2-hour show, the 20 minutes the wrestling comes on, and Justin Smith comments on everything. He's the most active person, like out of anyone anywhere, just at the end of the show.
The
I
other 20
appreciate it,
people
by the
fell
way.
asleep after the Halloween content.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, the other 32 people are our burner accounts. There's really one person watching Justin's.
Yeah. Kate's got 7 of them in the chat right now.
See, I don't believe that because I know Kate would comment as well.
It's true. She's sleeping.
She's slowly getting some wrestling knowledge in there too. Like she's surprising me with her wrestling knowledge.
Oh, dude,
Based
when
on
she
the fact
posted that Luger video, I popped so hard.
I think we all did. Because she popped it while we were sitting on the couch.
It was great.
Well, fellas, I think that's gonna do it for us. That's basically a 2-hour show. That was a fun way to end it. And guess what? There's about 1 billion more wrestling themes. We can do this again. And I was mildly surprised that some of those stumped you guys. I thought stuff like Glacier and Texas Tornado and
I'm still mad about the Blue Meanie one. That one.
I would never.
To be fair, like a lot of these songs are just like mishmashed in there. Like, I mean, they obviously had just a company who made them, or just like I don't know. I guess Johnny and Jared probably know this, but like, there's just a guy with a fucking guitar who was like, Bill the fucking chiropractor needs music, and then he just comes in like, crack your back, and that's it.
I'm gonna say I think only one of those songs is not a Jim Johnson.
There you go.
That would be
so, like,
yeah,
I didn't
Everyone
know
else
that.
Jim Johnson.
I didn't know that, but I knew that because it's all the same.
Here's a bonus one to go off the air with. I'll throw this one out there if you guys still have your pen and paper ready. We'll call it the championship bonus round. Here we go.
If you want to sell on...
No, we don't want to sell online.
This is an eBay ad.
Is that actually an eBay ad?
No.
Like, does he know what ad it was? If you knew what ad that was from 2 seconds, I'll never play against you again.
I just guessed.
Like, at anything.
If you want to sell online,
it was Wix Commerce. All right, here we go.
Oh, come on.
I've lost the StreamYard somehow. I think you guys can still hear me. I can hear you.
Yes, we can still hear you.
Okay. We'll say 5 seconds. That was a gimme.
What, you think?
I legitimately didn't remember his theme. So, but that makes sense. Kieran, who do you have?
I'm not done yet.
It's not Brick Baker.
That's a
excellent answer, Justin.
Even I get that one.
I like the one directly above that too. Somebody's gonna bust that one out one day, and we're all just gonna be laughing so long we can't write down the answer.
Okay, this is. I'm pretty sure that sound clip was a sound clip of children running from Tommy and Spencer's.
That's a different sound.
Oh man.
That sounds about right.
That was Jerry Lawler's personal dentist, Isaac Yankum, DDS. I like that we both put the DDS too.
Tommy Spencer's theme. Love you, Tommy. Just kidding.
God damn it. Rico was a good wrestler. What the fuck? Why didn't they get rid of him?
He got hurt.
It's funny because that guy didn't start wrestling until he was almost 40. After a career where he'd been an American gladiator. Cop, right? He was an American gladiator, and then he was a cop, and then he was a wrestler.
That's amazing.
Wow.
I told Kate our first dance when we get married is actually going to be to Bunkhouse Buck's theme song. So y'all want to check that out on YouTube and picture a first dance to that one.
I do remember Bunkhouse Buck, but I don't remember the theme song.
Oh, that's Justin says he had.
He did, yeah.
Bad health. That's too bad. Definitely thinking about him then.
Rico was
like his are rare to get into something that late. And
everybody remembers the Survivor Series 2002 moment with him.
I was just thinking of that.
I mean, that comment could probably apply to half the people we mentioned today because they're wrestlers.
That's true.
But he involved in that Bischoff's 3 minutes segment where he pulls the old face off.
That was
he was the wedding planner. That's how he came into the picture.
Yeah,
that was 20 years ago this week, I believe it was.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they just posted it. Yeah.
Oh my god! And on that note, let's get the fuck
are you talking about the wedding or the
wedding?
Okay, that yes.
Yeah,
I thought you were talking the Survivor Series. I was like,
no,
November.
Yeah, we're a couple months off from that. But yeah, the Bischoff face pull was 20 years ago this week.
Wow, that was pretty.
That would
awesome.
make sense.
That's insane. There's a poll. Anyways,
How good was that acting, though?
Phenomenal, man.
I fucking love that segment.
It's true. He literally, like, I mean, everybody knows watched shows and I'm Sean forever. He will literally quote that promo just completely at random for no reason. Like, even with like the pretend face ripping, like just at random, uncontext, and everybody will just look at him like, "You're fucking stupid."
I remember before I married my ex, I had joked around that I would pull that thing during the vows.
I was just gonna say, like, I will pay money to do that at your wedding.
That would be amazing. Jade would probably kill us both, but that would be amazing.
Yeah.
What a way to die, though.
We'd have about 3 minutes.
Yeah.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for tonight. Kieran, where can everybody find you at? What do you got going on?
Everyone can find me here, goofing around, but also being the host, so sometimes not goofing around. And hopefully this Sunday we'll be doing Rick and Morty again. That I had to apologize to some of the people, some of my friends who wanted to see that. Didn't work out too well, and we had some issues within some weird technical issues, and should be back next Sunday. I did really enjoy that episode, so maybe we'll talk about both of them.
Nice.
I blame Mr. Poopy Butthole.
Oh, I mean, poopy buttholes are a great thing to blame. I don't know where that reference is going, but cool. Jer, what do you got going on?
I am running Dark Match Drive, the Facebook page. I ran into an issue where I couldn't post pictures for like a day or two. I don't know. It was a weird Facebook glitch. So my posting went from 60 posts a day to like 3, but I think that's been fixed. So there's that. I run the Dark Match Drive Google Drive with 5 terabytes of pro wrestling content on it. All sorts of stuff. I just put up a barbed wire death match between El Desperado and Jun Kasai. And
because that's not random as hell.
Dude, it's amazing. So good.
I'm not arguing that it's going to be great. It's just I saw the picture and the match and I'm like, what?
Yeah. I'll post a link to the English translation of the promo afterwards too. It's really fantastic stuff. And then there's the Discord where we live stream all sorts of pro wrestling, And actually, I got to get back on doing a poll based on what show we watch on the weekend. So I should probably go do that right now. So all sorts of wrestling content. You like wrestling? Follow the Dark Match Drive.
There you go. And I didn't have the Rick and Morty show at handy, so here's the overlay for the Rick and Morty fandom show. So check that out. I think Kieran will be live Sundays after the show. By the way, if you're wondering, I'm no longer doing the Sunday after the House of the Dragon bit, like the immediate reaction. We're just sticking to the Monday show. I'm going to put all of our eggs in that basket, and people seem to be enjoying it. And big thanks again to Johnny and Zach on handling that. House of the Empire, pardon me,
Zach made that same mistake like 3 times on the show.
Yeah, that's my fault at the end.
It's just too close to it,
But check that out, 9 a.m. Eastern tomorrow morning. It will be up on the channel. And if you want to support the channel on another level, you can always head on over to Patreon, patreon.com/Fandom Empire. Join today. That is the way. And I lied. There is a graphic. There it is. Right there. Suck it. Sunday night. Johnny, what do you got going on, man?
Oh, man, you can find me over on Bros Before Pros Twitch gaming channel. We've been live 3 to 4 times a week for the last month or so. So we'll be
Earn
live.
that ice cap.
We will be live there in probably about 10 minutes tonight. Twitch.com/Bros Before Pros Gaming.
Running quarterback sneaks for all your guys playing.
I haven't decided what we're playing yet. It might be basketball.
Play something that's not basketball. I might actually tune in.
We might play football tonight.
I might be.
There's been some football, and he lets people call the play sometimes, apparently. So that's pretty cool.
That's actually smart, dude.
Yeah,
that's clever. That's good.
I know that some of our friends from our football pool love to show up and call quarterback sneak.
1st and 10, quarterback sneak. I overrule that one all the time.
Why, you don't have Cam Newton?
No, I'm running Kirk Cousins. That's even worse.
Anybody get you to punt on first down yet, or try to get any of your players injured?
No.
Ah,
I do the injuring, not get injured.
He's really good at throwing to teams in the other jerseys. I don't know if that's a thing that makes you win at football, but he's really good at it. So.
Saquon Barkley is going to win the MVP coming out of our offense. Thank you. We don't need to throw the ball, mostly because we can't, because Kirk Cousins is our quarterback.
Kirk Cousins throws the ball really well.
Yeah, inaccurately
Justin
really
Jefferson.
well. Well, I don't have Justin Jefferson. I have Jamar Chase.
Well, there's your problem.
Lampkin Lane. Lampkin Lane will. There's a pre-recorded episode. It's about 25 minutes long. That will go up in the next couple of days, and then on the weekend we will do a live stream, and we'll be very open with spoilers again over there. We're at that point. The fucking movie's out there. So
if you're running behind, do you post it as Lampkin late?
Yeah, which is most of the time. So we should just change the show to that. So Lampkin late. Yeah, that works for me.
Don't encourage his jokes like that, or he will keep telling them.
Whatever. It's all in good fun. That's gonna do it. Fun show, guys. Thanks for coming out. Big thanks to Mike for getting us to this point, and Tommy B for scaring kids at Spencer's. Night, y'all. This should be night A, huh? Whatever.